video, we're going to create a cross member by using section. So here is this second row rear bottom cross member. So we will try to create this cross member by using so here we have already provided one section and also the floor surface. So we will try to create a cross member by using this section. So first thing, we need to make sure that we don't have to create a dependency on this section, but we can create extract from environment part. So here is the environment part is our floor. So here is our tree. So I'm going to define the reference. For the reference, what I will do, I have to create one point at this center. So I'm just going to take on curve, going to select this curve, but it's selecting the whole master section. So I'm just going to create one extract, this bottom one, and okay. Okay, now I'm going to hide tentatively this section. I'm going to create a point at the mid, review, then coordinate. Okay, now I don't require this extract, so I'm going to delete because it will make a dependency on the section. So here we go. Now I'm going to use this access system. So here is one access system, just going to click that point. Okay, the current is off under the access system node, so my access system will be here, the access system 2. Now I'm going to click OK. So this is what we required. We have created one point and this section. And for this I have changed my the reference method. Here I will not do the particular line and then going to create a extrude. So I will use this axis system and then we'll create the planes. Okay, now I'm going to defining the surfaces. So here what we will simply extract this bottom face. Before that we will check how much offset we required. So from here to here it's perfectly matching, so floor thickness will be in opposite direction, so there is no need to create any offset of this floor. We can directly use uh, we can directly extract the floor surfaces. So here we go, we have extract this face. Now I'm going to use the untrim option. Okay, okay, so here we go, untrim is done. Okay, we will extrapolate surface. Actually there is no need, but we will do this because in future if required we can use this extrapole. Okay, I'm now hiding the floor again, so it's perfectly matching. What is the thickness of this cross member? The thickness of this cross member is 1.2. There is not an issue. So we are trying to match this bottom cross section. So let's check from this to this how much the width is there. From here to here in Z it will be a 60, so we will create one offset of 60. From here reverse the direction, put down the value 60. We will check it's perfectly matching or not. Yes, it's matching. Now what we have to do, we have to create this side faces. Okay, for that what we will do, we will create a simply we will take a plane. Okay, and we will create a offset from plane. For this I will choose ZY. So here I am selecting ZY. Okay, and I have tentatively put down the value of 40. Now creating one intersect over here. Yes, intersect is done. Now check how much angle is there. The angle is 100. So we will create one sweep. So here I am using with reference to surface. With reference to surface. Okay, now I'm selecting the guide curve and then reference. So here will be a 10-degree angle because 100. So I'm using with reference surface. So maybe here will be a 80. If you're using drop direction, then you have to put your uh, angle is 10. Okay. So let's check whether it is match or not. Okay, so here is the difference. So it's not matching. So what we'll do, I will use the reverse engineering. So how to use reverse engineering? I'm just going to unhide this top face. Okay, I'm simply going to extract this edge. Okay, and then going to extrapole. Okay, I'm hiding the section. I'm going to extrapole the extract edge, and then going to create a intersect with our top face. So here we get one point. Now I'm going to measure the distance from ZY to this point. How much distance is there? In X there is a distance of 48.39 C. I'm just going to copy. I just required I have to check I just required this X distance. That's why I've created this reverse engineering. Now I don't require this extra pole and intersect, so I'm going to delete this three. So I have just deleted. Okay. Now we have already created this one plane with the 40 mm offset. So I'm just going to change. So I'm just going to I have already copied that distance. So I'm now going to just paste it down there, and then OK and Control U. And now I'm going to unhide the sweep one. Okay, and now unhide the section. Let's check whether this is perfectly matching or not. So here we go. Yes, it's perfectly matching. The minimum distance is 0, the angle is 0. So similarly we're going to use, so I'm just going to copy the plane, the intersect and the sweep. Now going to Control V, paste, and just going to reverse the arrow, reverse direction. Okay, so I'm going to update the whole thing, Control U. Now you're able to see I haven't changed the sweep direction. That's why I need to change the sweep direction. So I'm going to change the sweep direction here. Okay, let's check whether it is symmetry or not. I haven't checked. So let's check this is symmetry or not. Yes, it is symmetry. So angle is 0 and the minimum distance is 0. Now we're going to use a trim. So let's define the trim. What we have already a bottom surface which is extrapolate one. Then we have created a one offset of 60 mm. So that's the top face. So here we go. We can use now the trim. So here I'm using the trim. So for this I'm going to create a top face first, and now trimming top with the bottom one. So here we go, our trim is completely done. So we have matched the section, and just fillets are remaining. I'm going to unhide the floor. So we have received just one section, so we don't know how to limit this for this at the end. So maybe there will be a long member are going to come. So so that's why we don't know how to limit this, but this simply section is they have provided, but we have to add some feature to strengthen this cross member. So I think we have to provide that in this cross member. So there will be a emboss here or beads. So beads will be like, so this is our section from here to here. Okay, so this is right now this is a plenary section. We have to add some beads here. Okay, from this top to bottom in an angle to make sure it will be clear in MTD, and it will not create any issue for the uh, stamping or drawing. So that's why we have to make sure we have to create this. So we will going to create this emboss to provide extra strength in cross member. Also we going to create provide the PLP here. So why PLP? We have to make sure that our cross member will be in a perfect location. That's why we have to provide the PLP to it will be used for the 3 to 1 principle. Okay, so right now I'm going to add this emboss. So here So this operation will be done in before this trimming operation. So that's why I'm going to define the surfaces. So let's define this surface. Okay, I don't require this, so I'm going to hide this trim 3. But what I required, I require this sweep 1. So I'm just going to unhide this sweep 1. So as I mentioned earlier, what I have to make, I have to make emboss like this. So I need to create one offset from this face. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to use this sweep and create one offset of 3 mm. Okay, the arrow direction is, yes, arrow direction is okay. So I have created one offset of 3 mm. Now, okay, where is my top face? So top face is offset 1. So I'm going to unhide that top face also. Okay, so here is our top face. And also what I required this axis system. So I'm going to unhide this axis system. Okay, so in my cross member, I require total number of 4 emboss or strengthening bead. So the strengthening bead will be look like this here 1 and 2, here 3 and 4. Similarly for the opposite direction. So I'm just going to create one offset here. The offset from plane will be X and Z. So I'm just going to click here the reference. Okay, check the arrow direction. I'm going to reverse it and put down the value of 200. Okay, so further we will modify this, but for now I'm going to use this 200 uh, 200 distance. Now I'm going to create one intersect over here on the top face. So intersect is done. Now I'm going to use the sweep and the sweep with reference surface. So I'm going to use this intersect as a guide curve and then top face. So I'm going to provide the angle over its uh, 15. So 90 minus 15 preview. So 75. So here is done. I have created one sweep. Also similarly I'm going to same copy paste, just going to change its direction. So here we go, we have changed the direction also. Now I'm going to use the offset of these sweeps. So here what how much offset I require, I'm going with 50. Or what we will do, we can create okay, we will just going to simply copy the plane intersect and sweep. Just copy this and paste it again. Just change the plane angle. Plane angle will be here is 200, so I'm going with the 300. Now control U, update all. Just change the sweep angle. Angle is currently 75 and the angular sector is third. So I'm just going to change this angular sector. So I'm changing its angular sector from 3 to 2. Now I'm going to click preview and then okay. Yes, that's it. This is okay for me. Now go to the trim, select the trim one and define the trim one over here. Okay, I'm going to unhide what we don't require. So this faces we don't require, so I have unhided that. Also we don't require this plane. Okay, so unhide is done. Now so this one is offset 2, which we have created from the sweep 2. Okay, and this two sweeps we have created for creating an emboss. So I'm going to create simple C over there. 1 2. Okay, then choose the trim first and then sweep 2. It's done. Okay, now unhide the operation one by one. So trim 1. So I'm going to define the trim 1, unhide the trim 1. So here we go. But here you are able to see actually what we have to do, uh, we have to trim this emboss with our this side sweep. So that's why we need to change the trimming operation. Okay, so here is a trim 1. So I'm going to check its parent and children. So parent and children. So trim 1 is created by using the two faces surfaces. So there is one is offset and second one is sweep. So what we have to do, unhide this sweep 1. Okay, okay, and trim 5. So what I have to do, I am going to use this trim 1. So let's go and select the trim operation over here. Choose this trim 5 and then sweep 1. Okay, then click OK. Now double click on trim 1. Now here replace this sweep 1 with our trim 6 and then click OK. Now update this all operation, Control U. Now click here, right click, and here is one option of reorder. Where is that option? Just give me 1 minute, I will check. No, here is one option of auto short. You have to just click on this auto short. So you are able to see, I'm just going to undo again. Okay, so here is how these trims are line up, like trim 1, trim 2, trim 3, trim 4, trim 5, and then trim 6. But this operation is not in a sequence, so I'm just going to right click over here, go to the trim splits object and then auto short. So you're able to see the trim 4 is the first operation. I'm just going to unhide. Yes, this one is what we require first, then trim 5, then trim 6. This is ideally we required, then trim 1 is okay, then trim 2, and then the last one is trim 3. So here you are able to see this emboss one is perfectly get added. Similarly, what we have to do, we have required this in opposite direction also. For this we're going to use the similar method to create a emboss like here also. So define the unhide the trim 3 first. Okay, we're going to use this sweep 3 and sweep 4 again, so I'm just going to unhide. Okay, but here what we required, we have created one offset from sweep 2. So now we need to create one offset from sweep 1. So I'm going to unhide this sweep 1 and here it's sweep 2. Going to create a check the parent child ROM offset 2 is sweep 1. So this sweep 1 is done. Now we have to create a 3 mm offset from this sweep 2. So 3 mm is okay. Check the direction. Direction is also okay. So we have created the offset. Now the offset is we haven't defined the surfaces. That's why the offset is come in trim split geometric set. So I'm going to reorder, change the geometric set. Okay, select the surface. Do you want before surface or inside the last position? Yes, before, and no, inside the last position. Yes, what we required this offset in our last position. Then click no and then click OK. So you are able to see this offset now in our surfaces. Now define the split and trim. Similarly, create what we have done for the earlier emboss or strengthening bead. Okay, so this one is done. Now unhide the sweep 2. Okay, now create a sweep 2 over here, create a trim between this emboss and sweep 2. So this one is also done. Now unhide one by one. So I'm going to unhide the trim 6. So this wheel is done, trim 6, and now trim 1. So trim 1 is also okay for us. So I'm going to hide this trim 1 and then unhide trim 2. So here you're able to see uh, our strengthening bit is not there. So I'm going to double click trim 2. Okay, now here edit this. So we have to what, we don't require sweep 2 here. So I'm going to replace this sweep 2 with our latest operation of trim 9. Then click OK. So what I have done, I have just replaced the sweep 2 with trim 9, which is our latest operation. So here you are able to see the same again. What we are going to do, and Control U first, then auto short. So our last operation will be a trim 3. So I'm going to define the trim 3 and unhide the trim 3. So here you are able to see our emboss is perfectly here. Now we are going to provide the fillet. So define the fillets. Okay, so I'm selected the define the fillets. Okay, now provide the fillet. So let's check how much fillet is there. So the 10. Okay, and what at the bottom? So bottom at also 10. So before providing this edge fillets, we will try to provide the fillet at this emboss or strengthening bit. So let's go to the edge fillet, select the edge fillet. Okay, select the bottom one first. So I'm going to increase this fillet to make sure it will not create any problem in stamping, or the PCR report or ECR report will be fine. So we don't have to modify this cross member again and again. So here we're going to keep this edge, so 20. Similarly use for the this side also. Select this edge. Okay, edges to keep will be this. Here is also same. Select this edge. Okay, edges to keep will be this. Here is also same, 20, and edges to keep will be this. Now click OK. Now for the outer side, I'm going to use the same edge fillet, and the value will be 20. Click OK. Actually, I have not selected the edge, that's why. Okay, select the edge. There is if you choose the face, then it will create a problem for you. Okay, I will check if I haven't have selected the face or not. That is it. Yes, I have choose the all edge and click OK. So here we go, 2020 is done. Now I'm going to choose this top edges. So here we go, top with the 10. Now at the bottom is also 10. Okay, if you want, you can increase this the distance between two embosses. So that's why we have right now how much we have maintained, 200 and 300. So if you want, we can increase this furthermore up to 400. Now control U, update the whole part. So this is a perfect done. So our whole cross member is now parametric. Okay, now features. So here you can add features for the PLP, or you can simply directly provide on this top face. But I personally choose to create emboss or depression to for the providing a PLP hole. So let's go. We will create the same here also. So I'm going to create one point. Make sure it the so actually we don't know how the limiting at the corner. So I will make sure to keep it at the center of this emboss. So I'm going to use the plane again. I'm going to use plane, creating the offset from this ZX, and just going to make it at the center. So maybe 300 is okay. So I'm going to just put down the offset of 300. Here I'm going to create one intersect, or simply you can create one point. Okay, I'm going to create one point using this axis system. Right now is 0 0. So at minus 300 preview, so here will be a point, then click OK. Now I'm going to use this uh, circle and radius. Select the center, select support, use this full, and here will be a 30 or 25. 25 is also good, looks good. So okay, I'm going to use this sweep. Okay, select the circle. We can use, or you can use this with draft direction. I have selected the guide surface. Provide the distance will be Z, draft direction will be a Z, angle will be a 45, distance will be a 10 and 10. Preview. Okay. So here we required one offset from this top face. So just going to unhide the top face. So top face is offset 1. So I'm going to unhide. So here is our top face. I'm just going to create an offset of 3 mm because we required the embossed depth of 3 mm. So that's why 3 mm. Then click OK. We don't require the top face. So I'm going to hide this. Right now we also don't require this fillet. So I'm going to hide the fillets. Okay. Now I'm going to use the trim operation. Selecting the sweep, selecting the bottom face, then click OK. Now providing the fillet here is a 10, so 10, radius 10. Now unhide the edge fillet 4. Okay, so here I am going to use the trim operation, selecting the edge fillet 4 first, then trim 5, then click OK. Now here I am going to provide the fillet of a 10. So this one is done. Now we have to use cutouts. So here I'm going to limit this before splitting the before trimming the actually scratching with our floor. That's why I'm going to limit this. So select the offset, select this XY plane. Okay, reverse the direction. So I'm going with the 500. Preview. Okay, then click OK. So I'm going to create intersect over here. So intersect is done. Now similarly for here, from this point to the ZY plane, how much distance is there? So I'm just going to copy this distance, creating one plane from here. Control V, click OK. Going to create an intersect. Similarly for opposite side, so going to just copy paste. Going to reverse direction because we know it is symmetry. So this will also going to match. Let's check whether it is matching or not. From here to here, yes, 0 is matching perfectly. Now we are going to do, we're going to trim this. Also we require one intersect at the center. So right now we don't require this section, so I'm going to hide this section. We have created one intersect at the center also. Axis system we don't require, so I'm going to hide the axis system also. Go to the trim, trim this intersection one by one. Okay, now use the split operation. Okay, now unhide the axis system because we need to create one symmetry over here. So I'm going to choose this symmetry. Select the right side, use symmetry plane of ZX and then click OK. Now use the join. Select the join command. Select the element, then symmetry element. Okay, here you can use the simplify the result to remove this midline. So sometimes it removes or sometimes not. So you're able to see this top flange and bottom flange. The center line is removed, but the side face line is still visible. So it's okay. There is not an issue. Okay, so the cross member is done, but we have forgot to add PLP over here. So there is not an issue. We can provide the PLP now. So we have one point here at the features. Okay, so similarly, I'm going to just copy that point. I'm going to paste it in cutouts. Uh, and here is a positive Y300. So I'm just sorry, here is negative. So I'm just going to remove that negative. So the one point will be here. and one point will be here. Or simply you can create these points again. Okay, we can delete this, so it's going to hide. We can create this point again. Just go to the point, select this center sphere and ellipse, select the edge. Okay, so here is one point is created. Similarly here you can use same. Okay, now here I'm just going to create one simply circle and put it down the radius of 4. Okay, uh, so PLP will be a 544, so I'm going to use this radius 5. Okay, similarly I'm going to directly going to create one sketch over here, so that's why I require this axis system. Okay, use this sketch, select the XY. Okay, projection point will be this. Choose your vertical and horizontal. Yes, perfect. Now create here one oblong slot, because we have already created this 4-way. Actually we require now 2-way, so that's why I'm going to use this sketch, because sketch is the simplest method to create a 2-way hole. Okay, so here we go. We require this 5 and this required as a O, and from this to this center distance will be at 2. Now exit the sketch. Okay, if you want you can create a extrude here. At this point now I am going to extrude the sketch and the circle, the direction of Z. Going to hide this circle and extrude. Sorry, circle and sketch. Now I'm going to use this join. Selected the circle, also selected the extrude. Now remove this, check. Okay, then split. Select the Crossmember first, then join, then click OK. So here we go. We have done the PLP also. Okay, but we haven't removed the sharp corner. For this, use this final split. Define this final split. We don't require the flow, so I'm going to unhide the flow. Sorry, hide the flow. Now I'm going to use this boundary. Select the edge. Click OK. Go to the corner. Select the corner. Okay, tick here on corner on vertex. Okay, select the element which is a boundary and select the support. Before selecting the support, provide the radius of 5. Select the cross member, then click OK. Go to the split, select the cross member, select the corner, click OK. Now the final operation will be a join, so go to the join again, select the cross member, click on the preview. Make sure your direction will be upside, because we have to provide the thickness in upside direction. Okay, so the part is done. Go to the part here, top side of the tree, define the part body. Now provide the thickness. For this, go to the part design, go to the thickness. The thickness is 1.2. Provide the thickness. Control U, change the color of this part body. Okay, hide your work. Control save. Okay, now check with your section whether it is perfectly matched or not. So I think it's perfectly matched. We have uh, matched this section. Also uh, provide this stamp, the strengthening bead, also provide the fillet. I hope you understand how to create a cross member from given section. Also we have added strength in there. So that's it for today, and thank you. And please make sure to share with your friends so they can learn the BIW. Okay, so thank you.